You're now tuned in to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And as always, I got another great interview for you today. And I'll tell you what is coming up right after this. My guest today is an Emmy-nominated actor who has appeared in films and television shows like Good Deeds, Stomp the Yard, Chicago Fire, and Ambitions. And he is here today to talk about his new film airing on Urban Flix TV. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, Mr. Brian Fine White. Welcome to the show.
How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Is your family and everybody and all of your loved ones holding up well at this
Yeah,
time?
we are holding up well. Like you and I was talking about, my husband and son got the COVID-19 going on. You know,
I got my version over here as well.
I know that's right. How are you quarantining right now?
We're doing okay. We're blessed. California is where I live, and we have
Mm-hmm.
yards. So my friends in New York, it's a different experience, especially if a lot
Right.
of kids in an apartment right now. It can be a little
Right.
tough. I work with a set of brothers, and they live in different places, but they don't let you up in the building if you're not living there. So if
Oh,
your brother lives down the street, your sister lives down the street, mom, you got to go meet them for a cup of coffee and walk around the block. That's a different thing than
wow.
than in LA.
Right.
We were able to, even with social distancing, have like the mom could go grab, or I could go grab some takeout,
Right.
drive through, go to her driveway and put a
Mm-hmm.
table out and stay 6 feet apart and talk through the window and sit in the car and be like, hey, good to see you
Right.
for lunch, and
Right.
then drive
Right.
away, right? 6 feet away. You can't do that in New York. Little things that get you through, a 2 month period that we've been able to do in California and feel really blessed to be able to do those little things.
So I want to ask you. So during this time, what have you missed that you didn't realize that you really missed and took for granted before COVID-19?
I appreciated. I actually use your words. I missed appreciating my family. That
Mm.
time. I mean, yes, it gets
Yep.
stressful. My daughter was so into school as a 6-year-old that her friends were becoming more important, and you could see the influences when she came home
Right.
that weren't of me and her mother. And now, after a week, when we see them chat with their class, everybody sounds like their parents, and we laugh about it because it's just the time spent, and you sound like your mom and your dad, and you get to
Mm-hmm.
really rub off on your values, and they see you deal with your frustrations. They become more a little used than when they're at school. When they're at school, they become their little friends, and so I missed that. I missed that, seeing my daughter copy me for better and for worse.
Now you have a 6-year-old, right?
Yeah, Layla Simone.
Yeah, I have a 6-year-old too. So, he's full of energy. And like you were talking about
He
back there, yeah, I have a son. He's 6. And
his
so,
name
his name is Josiah.
Josiah. That's a
Yes.
great name.
Thank you. So the Lord decided to bless my husband and I in our old age. We felt like Sarah and Abraham. But but it's all good. Starting all over again. I got 2 adult children and a 6-year-old. So we started
Wow.
all over again. So, but God is good. So I want to talk to you now. I know you from, of course, several different TV shows. But let me tell you, when I got the interview request for you, it was so interesting because when I got the request, I was like, absolutely. And then I
Thank you.
go upstairs and my husband, because I have the Urban Movie Channel and I love it because it's us. And so my husband was watching a movie, or a TV, it's a series, and he
Hmm.
was, oh, this is good. I said, what you watching? And guess who came across the screen? He was watching Monogamy.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, it sure that's what my husband was telling me. He said, I don't know if this was supposed to be an experiment or supposed to break the marriages up. He said, I don't know which one it was supposed to be. He said it was supposed to help him, but it
Yeah,
doesn't look like it kind of helped y'all a
yeah.
little
It's
bit.
monogamy. It's called the experiment
Mm-hmm.
monogamy,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's the experiment's dangerous, and it's a social experiment. So it gives couples at home watching it a lot of stuff to think about and talk about how much truth do you really want to know, inside a relationship. Most of it's just
Mm-hmm.
and most of it's just thoughts. You think about doing it, but that feels so negative. And in our social media world, all we have is thoughts. We have these thoughts. If we shared them with each other, with our partners, how much of it would be considered okay? Just what you're
Mm.
thinking about on a daily basis. Our show makes people think about those things, and it's fun.
Yeah, dude. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But you know what? You come from good stock. Your
Oh,
mother,
thank
financial
you.
advisor,
Yes,
your
ma'am.
father, former NBA player for the Boston Celtics Hall of Famer. So I mean,
Thank you.
you grew up pretty privileged. So what was that like for you, knowing that your mother know how to handle money? And
Hmm.
thank God that your father was able to make a little bit while he was playing. And
Yeah.
then you come along and you're pretty smart. You went to Dartmouth. How you say college?
Dartmouth.
There you go.
Dartmouth. And I will define privileged as having great parents.
Yes.
My dad played from 69 to 83. It wasn't, they talk about Jordan not making money now. When we're
Mm-hmm.
watching his documentary or Scottie Pippen, it's like, come
Right.
on. My dad played before that. My dad played the year after he played in the Black Glove Olympics.
Mm.
My privilege was having a dad that played in the Black Glove Olympics that was from St. Louis and one of 8 children, son
Mm.
of a pastor, and a mom whose mother owned 18 mortuaries in Topeka, Kansas, and a fleet of Cadillacs, and owned her AKA house. And so, it was both sides, the house and the field. From having one foot in the house and one foot in the field, um, I feel privileged to understand both sides and not see either as an enemy or not
Hmm.
me or and that's a strength in America these days.
Did you get the skill to play basketball?
I could play a little defense. I did not get my father's shot. My two sisters. I have 5 sisters. They got his shot.
Wow.
They were all of them. Three of the 5 girls were scholarship athletes. 2 of them got daddy's shot.
Okay, so you didn't get the
I played pro football and lacrosse, so I got his athleticism. I got some
in another
speed.
way.
Yeah, the
In
basketball
another
shot,
way.
yeah, I ain't dead.
Now, how did Dartmouth prepare you? Because you were also in a fraternity, and then you got a chance to play a role in Stomp the Yard.
Yes.
In a frat. So, did you already have some moves before you played the role of Sylvester?
Yeah, I studied ballet in my freshman year and joined the Dartmouth Dance Ensemble for all 4 years. That was my minor.
Ballet.
Yeah, and so my minor was dance at Dartmouth College. I danced ballet,
So
jazz.
you got twinkle toes.
Oh, I was watching Lynn Swan and Gail Sayers when I was in college, saying Herschel Walker saying, "Hey, I'm an idol of these football players," and they were taking ballet to work on their footwork to be graceful. Lynn Swan's one of the
Hmm.
best receivers ever, so they made you take a beginning ballet class as a freshman to work on your feet and flexibility, hip flexibility. I was a defensive back. You need to be able to do all these turns. If you're stiff, you end up falling over when you try to spin
Right.
around in circles.
So you was
So
light on your feet.
I was pretty light on my feet. I had some experience. I had done the same thing in high school, actually. I had helped one of the cheerleaders who was tall. I could
Mm.
lift her back then. And she was like, "You can lift me. Will you be my dance partner?" I did a whole year of ballet, and it was fun. Um, and so I graduated with that as a minor. And when I was playing in New England, I started a dance company, Funk Phenomenon. That's funk with a PHUNK, phenomenon.com. We've been around since 1999, and we've graduated over 700 professional students. My sister Jamie White, who's an
Mm.
actor, is a graduate of the school and a professional choreographer.
Well, so you got skills. So
I
there's
got
more
not
to
like
you.
Columbus Short, but I got a little something, something.
I'm not mad at you. So now, speaking of just dancing, how did you make the switch to acting? When did the acting bug come in?
Well, I don't want to say I can't sing, but I'm not Usher, so
You
for
can hold
me,
a
and
note.
yeah, and I'm never thirsty to do something I don't feel that I'm really good at. So I
Right.
never wanted to be a singer because people in my family can sing. And so I was like, that's just not my thing. And that back in the day when I was coming up, it was all about musical theater, not so much just acting.
Right.
So I didn't get to audition when there was Grease or the play that they were going to do or West Side Story or whatever because I didn't, I couldn't hit the note. So, until I got to dance theater in college and late high school, I didn't think of that as a career. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. There was Spencer for Hire, and I was like, I don't think
Mhm.
Avery Brooks, that's in my future.
Mm.
It didn't seem realistic. And then when I was playing professional football, and my football agent, Lee Steinberg at the time, was a big movie guy.
Mm.
Jerry Maguire was made partially based on him, and I ended up in The Best Man as a featured extra. And that was my introduction to the acting world. And I ended up
Mhm.
sitting next to Melissa D'Souza, who
Oh,
many years ago I had a series with Boris Kojo and Nicole Ari Parker, and she was one of my castmates. The
okay.
first day on set, watching Monica Calhoun, who I've done a movie with on
Yes.
UMC many years later, and Morris Chestnut kill a scene crying and doing all whatever they were doing. And I was like, and tears and everything. And they were shooting Melissa. And all of a sudden, I'm meeting Malcolm Lee, and they say, "Hey, we're going to put you in some more scenes. You cried, and that was great. You're a great extra." That's where I started as an extra on The Best Man, being a good extra.
So did you even know what lane you wanted to go in? Because, back in the day, you don't have like the roughneck D boy look. You got you got the pretty boy. Now you could even play Timex's brother in The Last Dragon. Anybody ever tell you that?
Yeah, all the time. When I came out, he was one of the first people I met. They were like, "This looks like your brother."
Absolutely. Now, if they were to recast it, I could see you in it, and we just got to find a good old show enough. Now we
You know
could.
what I did when I first came out here? I did two martial arts movies because I have a background in training to try to get movies like that. I wanted to show
Yeah.
off what skill sets I had, coming in as an ex-professional athlete, but realized if I want to be taken seriously as an actor, I had to get away from just playing athletes
Hmm.
and do other stuff. So that's why I started trying to. I actively went after a period in the beginning of my career where I was trying to play bad guys because I'm not a bad guy like you
Hmm.
said. That's just not who I am. That's not how I was raised. That's not how if you watch my Instagram, that's who I am. And
Hmm.
so trying to find characters that I wasn't that, so then when people meet the real you later in life, they actually think you're getting better at your acting, at your better at your craft,
Right.
because
Right.
you're doing the easy stuff later. So
It's funny that you say that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you play those characters that just get on my nerves. You know, I mean, get on my the brother that you just love to hate. Now, back in my acting days, those are the characters I loved to play, and it was always funny to me because people would see me. I remember getting on the bus one time, and a lady told me how much she did not like me because she saw a play that I was in.
ooh, me too.
And she just really related to me as a character. And I'm like, that is not me. That's why I love those characters. But people literally were doing we would call that during the break. They would come to the back and find me to tell me how much they don't like me. And I'm like, well, gosh, thank you. I
Yeah.
took it as a compliment. So you took those roles because it's so far from you. So is it because it was a stretch for you?
Yes, as an actor,
Mm-hmm.
but more so a bigger thing. I have five younger sisters, and I'm the oldest boy and the only boy.
Mm.
Right? And so we're about education. We're a family of educators and pastors and financial,
Mm-hmm.
folks, Wall
Right.
Street. And so when I got to Hollywood, and just all through life, seeing women that look like me, like guys that don't have my moral compass,
Mm-hmm.
and find that like attractive in some way, always confused me. I didn't
Mm.
see that in my sisters, but I saw that in open society, and I was like, what is it about the bad boy that is even attractive? There's plenty of cool and fun squares. Barack looks like he's pretty fun.
Right.
Michelle don't look like she's mad.
Right.
So like, what is it about whoever it is, not insulting anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not the cool thing. And so I wanted to play this opposite character in Good Deeds. Taraji's friends with my wife, and we were talking about the same question to her. And she's like, well, come on, find out. Let's do some, And so I played this insidious character. I was smoking during that movie. I wasn't talking to my sisters because I wanted to really not like myself. I've never gotten so much fan mail and posts about this is the sexiest role that you ever played. And then the same, like you said, but I hate you. But like the same thing, if you hate me that much and that's that venom, then what did I get the love letter for? Like the dude in jail,
Mm.
that you want to be with that is going to cause your life to look like Taraji's did before she dumped
Right.
the radio on dude. And that's why I took some of those roles, and I had my sisters read them and my mom read them. Just like I started in the Twa movies with Will Packer. My mom,
Yes, you did.
my mama helped me polish that script before we said yes to the role. I said,
Really?
"Hey, I don't like the original script." When Reagan and Patrice called me and I was replacing another actor, and I said, "Okay, well, read the script. Hold on." And I had my mom read it, and we called back, and I said, "I want to change some things. I think we can make it a little bit more classy
Mm-hmm.
and remove some of this whoop whoop whoop." And they said, "All right, well, you write it. You come on down." And so I wrote it, and I came on down, and that's how Sylvana White and I became producing partners originally. But I've always done that. I wrote my stuff for Ray Donovan this past year, and I just became the
Mm.
president of the On Channel streaming network that has over
Look at you.
450 hours of content,
Okay,
150
I see,
titles.
I see you.
Just trying to.
Okay.
So I was always doing things on purpose because I want to affect the narrative. So
Mm-hmm.
playing the bad guy, let's say in Stomp the Yard when they originally came to me, they're like, "Hey, would you be DJ?" I was like, "One, I'm too old. Two, you have to be able to dance like wowzers, and I'm good, but I'm not
Hmm.
wowzers. I can do
Right.
this the ensemble choreography very well, but when you want me to solo, I'll get bored of me after 30 good seconds.
Right.
And then you see Columbus Short, and you're like, "Oh, that's why you were dancing with Britney Spears or Beyonce as their partner because you like Dross,
Right.
who's J Lo's partner, and was one of the dancers of the movie." So I chose that role knowing people were going to hate him, not because he was a bad dude, arrogant, did anything, whatever, but because they were going to love Columbus Short, and he was like, "Who's this dude?" But by the end of the movie, they'd be like, "But he's all right. I like Sly too." And I do a lot. I do that a lot with roles like Chicago Fire, where I think the character is great, but you go into it knowing, or Scandal. I think the character is the one people should be rooting for, but they like Jake. So you about to catch some hell for messing with Jake's girl, even though Kerry Washington should be with the brother, but people didn't want that.
Wait a minute.
They gonna give me some tweets about that, but it's always the same thing, and it's great. I love it. It's interesting about culture.
I was gonna say, but talking to you, it's so funny how you are so far from your characters. Because when you come on the screen like on Ambitions, yeah, it is. But you're just wrong. That's all I could say. But I love you though, because you're such a good actor, and you do it just in such a suave way. Go ahead.
Question for you about Ambitions. What were your thoughts on the marriage, the couple, couples like that? What do you think? Just watching those types of marriages, and especially Evan and Steph.
They shouldn't be together. They shouldn't. I mean, when you just got two evil people, you over here got a child over here, it's a mess. I guess for me, I'm a Christian, so I have a whole different type of mindset. I can't be like, yeah, girl, no. Mm-mm. I guess for you as a man and a mayor and a person in position, and although you're married and you and your wife may not necessarily get along, my thing is if you don't get just leave them alone. Just leave. Just walk away. I don't care. I don't care what position you have or whatever. If it's not working and you're not happy because it's toxic. How you think?
What we talked about from the beginning, and we started with that show as not linearly, not literally, but I did a show before that show called Media.
Yeah, that was good. What happened with that?
Well, Kevin Arcady and Sheila Ducksworth who run Will Packard Television and the showrunner for Ambitions. So the shows were loosely connected by Kevin Arcady. And I was playing the similar character in both shows. I was running for mayor in Media, and I was mayor in Ambitions. Those are the only similarities.
Okay.
But the meditation is since the Cosby Show, and that Dr. Phil clips were James Avery clips were airing the other day online because it was his memorial. And everybody's crying, and the thing he said is he just became circuit court judge. And, it was a proud scene with him putting on the robe. And, I'm like bursting into tears because you can't find characters that are circuit court judges on TV. You find lots of the Lyons family, and that's great. But it's music and entertainment and sports. And if our money comes only from music, entertainment, and sports, then everybody wants to be players and not owners. People don't want to be the bankers because they're not seeing them be cool. Bernie Mac was a comedian. Yeah, that's great. But you got to go hold a mic and become Bernie Mac or Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. And, Dave Chappelle had to walk away when he found out how the industry worked. So we want to be the owner that doesn't walk away, not the person that says 400 million is not enough because I know what you make. And Ambitions was about that game.
Okay.
So the Carlyles are 3 generations of millions. They had, 7 plus 8, 8, 9 plus zeros on their checks for the Civil War on in their dark brown. That's real in America. And those people vote Republican. For real in America.
Well, you're right.
And Evan's hardcore Southern Democrat, been through it. His sister represents most of the audience that cares about, us.
Right.
Her and her brother Right. But she, but her brother's trying to make their family come up to here. That's the goal, the struggle. And there's very few shows that talk about that, and show it from both sides where, our perspective for me and Robin was, we're the baddest they each has ever seen, but he's always trying to level up because he doesn't come from that stock. And regardless of your race, even if you are from Africa, there's pedigrees in African society. Yeah. In America, we try to erase that because of what we went through, but there's still pedigrees, and Stephanie's family is this pedigreed family, and Evan's like, that game that her father and her play against each other, he's not quite all the way there, but that's what he wants to play. And we want to have that. Kathy Hughes was like, we want to have that conversation. Barry Gordy and Tina Knowles, we have to have that conversation. It's hard,
But is it
but that's
healthy?
if we
Is what
don't
you're doing
have it, we
healthy?
can't get back to Africa in the first place. Because again, Africa always had pedigree. So does Asia. So does India. It's not one culture doing it to another. It's interculture stuff that happens based on whatever reason, and it's always existed since Adam and Eve. And that's not racism.
Okay.
That's a different thing
Hmm.
inside each culture. But we should talk about that because that part is it's not insidious, it's not inflicted on us, and it's just built into our culture. And if we can't even talk about it ourselves, then we're shielding ourselves from having an honest dialogue. And that's what Will Packer was talking about making the show for,
Okay.
in a soapy way, in a salacious way, so it doesn't feel like you're even talking about something that matters. You're just getting images of politicians, governors going, ooh, I could be a governor and affect this policy over here, even though, oh, is he about to show his butt, is really what you're there for.
But
You
what
did
does
some
it
other
say,
stuff.
though, Brian, about the family unit, though? I understand the striving and trying to get there. I get that. But what about the most important unit, which is the family unit, the husband and wife?
Who's the most famous entertainment couple that there is, and the most rich?
Beyonce and Jay Z
Who's the most the for black folks aside from Obama,
and
the
Michelle.
Obamas? Who's the second most beloved political couple?
I don't
They're
know
white.
one.
They're white.
Oh, I thought you meant in our culture.
In our culture, when we went to the Tyler Perry thing and everybody said the president was coming, the first person when I was there wasn't Barack and Michelle. Everybody thought it was Bill and Hillary. They were like, "Oh, we meant the black one." I was like, "What? Oh my God!" I mean, they're both, whatever. But the
Right.
point being that those two families in our community are big families by
Mhm.
most measures. They've
Mhm.
been through some things.
Mhm. I'm sure.
They're like there's some things we know about. One of them was
Mhm.
on trial for it. One of them did something called Yellow about it on HBO, and they made that within 30 days of it happening because there's that much money tied to it. Think about it. 30 days after an incident broke on TMZ, there was a video called Yellow on HBO. How long does it take to get something greenlit at HBO?
Well, I got to see that. I didn't see Yellow.
You never saw that video where he was laying in her lap looking at the camera?
Mm-mm. Who you talking about?
They made a video on HBO. I'll send it. I'll send you a link. But the point
Yeah.
is just this is just media that people
Mm-hmm.
put out, and you like try to read into the messages of media. We watched one man go through a 6 month trial. We saw another couple solve it with making a video apology, and it was like, okay, well we're still united, and that's how you get through stuff. Just like the Kennedys. If you know Marilyn Monroe was John F. Kennedy's mistress, and Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy was like, I'm gonna hold my chin up, people.
Well, that's when you say it like that. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get what you're saying.
That's the
I
to
get it
have that
now.
conversation, we have
I
to
get
have
it.
that family, and it's not
I get where
Beyonce and Jay Z or
okay.
Bill and Hillary or the Kennedys. It's the Carlisle Lancasters, and that's
Right.
the whole point.
Okay,
We
I
can
see.
it's fine for Jr. and Sue Ellen, but we're
Mm-hmm.
like, why do we have to show that? Well, we've had 10 years of the Lyons family, and it's music and entertainment. We want big, messy politics that lead to the White House and look just like Donald Trump and Melania, because
Gotcha. I
people
gotcha.
watch that and vote for it.
Yeah, that's true. You know
And
what? And that's the truth. He's
And you
in
got to
office.
understand why, not to replicate it, but you got to understand the game behind it. And that's what this was really about. This is
Okay.
the real conversations that are behind why Oprah puts shows off the air or keeps them on the air, or Will Packer picks up shows and not picks up, is those
Yeah,
bedroom
because
conversations.
ambitious is not returning.
Maybe we told too much truth.
Because when I got the email from OWN, I was like, what? I could not believe it when they sent me. It had to be under embargo, and when I read, I was like, so I couldn't say anything. Even when I had interviewed Brayley just recently, because
I love Braylee. She's so amazing.
I love her, and so I couldn't say anything because when they sent me the email, so I was like, should I mention it in the interview? So now that it was out there, I seen it out there today, so that's why I'm mentioning it to you now. So did they give reason why? Mm, okay, okay. So moving on, we're going to be talking about Howard High, which is our
Yes.
story. Now, will I like you in Howard High? Will I like you in this? Okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna like you. Okay, so it's streaming on Urban Flix TV. It's a
Yep.
brand new streaming service, everyone. And Howard High is on there. It looked like it's a cross to me when I saw the trailer between Fame and High School Musical. That's kind of like what it looked like. But I want
With
you to tell
this,
us all about it.
it's
We're black people,
fame.
though.
It's Fame meets High School Musical with Lean on Me's storyline, and I
Okay.
play I play Joe. You're gonna call me Batman by the end of it. But Morgan Freeman, thanks for the
Right,
inspiration.
right,
I've seen
right.
that movie 1,000 times. Robert Guillaume, man, that courtroom scene in A Warner. There's no cuts in that courtroom scene in that movie. It's my favorite scene of all time.
Well, I was in the first one. I was in the principal before Lean on Me came out. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So before Lean on Me, and that's good that we inspired Lean on Me. But anyway, go ahead about with your. So go ahead and tell me about your movie,
uh,
about your series.
so I'm the new principal at a school. I get brought in by Dorian's character,
Hmm.
who is a politician. He brings me in unbeknownst. We're friends, and I was the number one student back in the day. Now I'm a principal at another school. Bring me in because they want the school to fail. So I'm going to be the scapegoat. I
Hmm.
find out about it, and I bring in Marcus Houston's character, Mr. Kitsch. I believe his character's name is Michael Kitsch, who's a music teacher, because I see that there's a lot of talent in this school, and he has a way to leverage that talent into making some money that can maybe replace the money that was stolen by the last principal and give us some more time to save
Mm.
the school and not get it closed. And so the community and the kids rally together with some truth. And with their hair lit on fire, hearing about what the world and the people that look like them that have climbed up think about them, and they get real motivated and do something about it.
Well, okay, so that's all that is in the nutshell. Now, tell us, how long has this streaming service been going on? Like, is it brand new? Did it just start in
I
2020?
Yeah, I can't really speak for Urban Flix. I know that they're new and they started, I believe, on May 1st. So this is
Okay.
one of their first series to launch. I'm one of the producers of this series, along with Marcus Houston and Chris Stokes. It's a musical, and all of the kids. There's a big ensemble cast of maybe 10 leads, led by Chrissy Stokes, Chris's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And they all sing, dance, perform. They're all signed artists, and you are going to be hearing a lot from these people. The series was picked up to continue, and you're going to be seeing a lot from these kids. It's bigger than Glee, in my opinion,
Mm.
because these kids can't all do it live. They're doing it live on set, although you record versus a track. But when
Right.
you're on set, you're seeing live performances like a concert, and each one of these kids was signed in a touring group that people have heard of. So it's magic for a show that looks like us to be this polished. When you can buy their tracks on Spotify, it's like a Grammy album. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Okay. I love how now they can put music on streaming services. So if there's a show you're watching and you love the song, you can go and purchase it. It's just a whole nother avenue for artists. I love that. But before we go, you mentioned On earlier. So let's talk about that. I want to touch on that.
Yes, the On Channel is a streaming service, global, focused on diversity. We have a little bit of everything. TheOnChannel.com. I became the president in November. We have over 450 hours, over 150 titles, adding rapidly, everything from animation through features. And we can stream live.
Mm.
Specifically with music, we can put on a live concert after a movie with the talent that was in the movie, and you can tune right in and see some behind the scenes on social media, but watch them live speaking just to you, and then buy the music through us. So there's a lot of fun things you can do it on, and I'm promoting Howard High and On. That's hilarious. But they're both black owned, so it's
Right.
great to be doing it.
But of course, since you got your thing going on, I definitely want to promote that as well. So
Thank
before
you.
we go, what can we find you doing when you're not on a TV set, movie set, being Mr. President?
I'm a
So,
tech guy, and I'm a partner and co-founder of a company called Snapcall. On all of my social media, pick my Instagram, click the link below my name, and that'll take you to my page. It's a place to connect. It's a place to consume, and it's a place that's going to change the world. Snapcall is what it's called. It's text based way for us to communicate, so you can reach me right directly. I'm giving everybody my text numbers on all my social media.
okay, so is that the new thing that a lot of celebrities are doing where they're giving out their phone number and
Sort
people can,
of, sort of.
okay.
Ours is a digital phone number, so it works just like a regular phone number, except
Hmm.
you can engage in e-commerce. So anything that you can do on a computer, you can do on our phone number. So it's different than just a more phone number. It's more dynamic.
Mm.
There's intelligence built into it, so it helps you do what you do. It's built for the army of one. We call it the gig economy. There's 85 million people in the world that have more than one job, like myself. I've been an actor slash for all of my adult life.
Hmm.
And those kind of people need lots and lots and lots and lots of tools. I'm very privileged To
Yes.
have, you hear my name, you say yes to the interview. It
Mhm.
takes somebody else that might have more to sell products, like 50 products, to get your time to help them sell it. $10,000, worth of tools to get your attention to get on the
Right.
show.
Correct.
Snapcall erases and eliminates all of that and leverages the army of one to be able to have the functionality and leverage of somebody like myself or 50 Cent or Beyonce. And I'm trying to help people do that with Snapcall. Click the link on my social media, sign up for our waiting list. It's any of my social media. You can go to my website, brianwhiteonline.com, and that links back to everything. And call me.
Okay, look, I'm gonna look you up. You got it. Well, I want to say thank you so much, Brian, for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming. I want to remind the audience to make sure that you check out Urban Flicks TV. Make sure you go and check out Howard High. It's what you
Yeah.
just say. Yeah, Howard High. It's a cross between what Glee, Fame,
High School Musical and
and High
Fame.
School Musical and Fame, but on an urban tip.
Yeah,
How
with
about that?
Lean on Me's storyline. Yeah.
with the Lead on Me storyline. So again, where can people find you?
BrianWhiteOnline.com. That's my official website. That will link back to everything else. Keep it simple.
All right. Keep it simple. Thank you to my special guest today, Mr. Brian White, for coming on the Lady Charmaine Live Show. And we definitely look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye
You
bye.
too.